Hello everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts here again with another tutorial, and hopefully this will be a fun tutorial for all of you. Occasionally I make these usually what I do is I make these into hair clips. And I don't know if you've all noticed, but these days it has been sort of popular to do sort of a peacock wedding theme for a lot of people. So I have made these usually hair clips for weddings. And I do sell them. They sell actually quite well. And I don't put mine on my Etsy page for as expensive as some of these other people that make them, so I think that's why mine sell pretty well. But they are beautiful and probably made pretty much similarly to some of the other ones. Now I'm sure there are people out there that make them much better than I do. This is something I do for fun. So anyway, this one though I have made and turned into a brooch. Because I think what I want to do actually is I'm trying to do some wedding themed items for my Etsy shop right now, getting ready for wedding seasons. And I thought what I would do is try and make some brooches and some boutonnieres made out of peacock feathers. So that if those who are doing peacock wedding themes, they can get the brooches for their men, their best man and their the guys in the wedding, and then the girls maybe could wear these brooches, or for moms or what have you. So I thought I would make a couple of these brooches and put them in the store and just see how they do. So this is the first one that I have already made, and today we're going to make another one. I'm going to set that one aside there. And we're going to start on another one, and I'm going to be using a lot of the same feathers, although this one I'm going to add some purple feathers into it, and I have some bling here to choose from to add to it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I've got this little wooden circle, and I'm going to say this is probably about a 2-inch circle. Let me get my ruler here. Yes, largest edge to largest edge. It's a 2-inch circle, and it's just a little chipboard circle. And the first thing I'm going to do is I've cut these 2 purple circles out of a piece of felt that I had sitting around. So these are definitely purple. And they may not look real purple on the camera, but they are purple. And I'm just going to take this circle, and I'm going to add some Gorilla Hot Glue around the top of this. And this is just so that it has sort of a background. I'm not going to put the back circle on yet, because sometimes, well, in fact, actually this time I think I'm going to, because I'm hoping to get all of the feathers on there exactly the way I want them. Although on occasion what I'll end up doing is I'll end up putting feathers on the back side after I have the front completely done, because I want to add more fullness to them. And that way, if the circle is not glued on yet, if I add feathers, I can add the felt on top of the feathers. But we're hoping to get this all in one fell swoop on the top of the circle, and we'll be good. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to sort of map it out. I've got all of these beautiful feathers. I've got these polka-dotted peacock feathers. I've got some blue. I've got these purple feathers. I have a regular peacock feather, and then I have these black feathers. And thanks to my friend Judy, she sent me bags and bags of feathers. She sent me the blue and the black polka dot ones. I've got like 3 bags each of those. I've got black feathers and brown feathers and all kinds of feathers, because I also make my little birds, and so I was wanting some feathers for those, and she just picked me up a ton of beautiful, beautiful feathers. So I thank you, Judy. hopefully you'll get to watch this video and you'll get to see what I did with some of the feathers you just sent me. So anyway, I'm going to show you really quick though with these. This is how the black feathers come, and if you'll notice on these that I have that I'm going to use, these have the fluffy feathers all the way to the end. And the way that I accomplished that was they were like this one. Cut off at the end there, and all I do if I want to get the fluff all the way to the end is I take and I cut off the section that is the straighter feathers, just like that. So I just took that little piece out and put that aside, and you can see now you've kind of got that V in the top. So me, I like it to come to a point, so what I do is I sort of spread the feathers there, put the smallest dot of hot glue there, and take these feathers and press them together at the tip, just like that. And then I've got my point at the end. And then if there's any strings left, you just pull those off and you're good to go. So it looks perfect, and that's the way I like my feathers to look. So that's how I accomplish that, because I know you guys probably, some of you probably have craft stores where you can buy these feathers, but they usually do come sort of cut off straight at the tops. And for me, I don't like that. I like the fluffy part of the feathers better. So, although a couple that I did put on these, you can see these are the polka-dotted feathers, and they are sort of straight at the top. Or no, they're not. These are actually just the black feathers. And these I did leave straight. So, and then I did put one that I added fluff to there. So, it just depends on my mood, what I'm looking for, what kind of look I want on the piece. So, so what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black feather, and I'm just going to sort of lay it across the top. I'm going to sort of map this out first. I'm not going to glue these on quite yet, because I want to map it out and see exactly how I want this to look before I glue everything on. So I'm going to kind of lay my black feathers down that way. And then I'm going to take this polka dot feather, black one, and I'm going to put that there. And I definitely want to use a couple of these purple feathers. And I'm just going to kind of fluff these out and make them a little more sort of fluffy looking, so they're not so straight up and down. So I'm just taking the feathers and I'm kind of pulling them away. There are times when you would want this to be straight and just sort of sticking out straight from the piece, but for now I want these to kind of be a little bit more you know, not so perfect. And I think actually what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put one of these purple ones sort of behind with the black feathers. I'll take this one and go like this. Put this one here. And then I think I'm also going to take one of these pretty blue, because you know when you're going peacock you can go with all of these beautiful colors and sort of add them all together, and you get the most beautiful piece of art. Really, it just comes out gorgeous. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to take my peacock feather, and actually, now that I've thought of this, I'm going to add the peacock feather on top of the purple ones. See, this is why I do want this bigger polka dot one behind here. This is why I don't glue it on, because I end up moving things around so much. And then we'll put this one here. We'll get that polka dot one there. Put a polka dot one there. And that looks pretty nice the way it is. I've got a fluffy black, just a top piece here. that I think I want to kind of go towards, maybe towards the front, not all the way to the front. Maybe I'll just take one of those pieces I cut off and throw it in there. I think I will, because that adds a kind of a different texture to it. Okay, and then this one, I think maybe I'm going to get this one in there somewhere, but I'm just not quite sure where. Maybe behind the peacock feather there to add a little bit more fluff. And then I have one more purple feather that maybe we'll kind of have coming out to the side over here. And that one I'm going to leave straight. So anyway, I'm going to start. This is not perfect, and by any means, you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to go, oh God, that's going to be horrible, Carol. It won't. When I'm done, it'll be beautiful. But when you're laying them around, feathers, they're so lightweight. They want to kind of go all over the place and get messed up on you. So, okay, so we're just going to go ahead and start gluing these down now. I'm gonna commit now. So I'm taking a little bit of hot glue and I'm just kind of smearing it down the stem of the feather, and I'm just going to lay it across there. And you'll see I have a little piece, a little edge hanging over here. I'll be cutting that off. I hate to use my good scissors for that. We're going to actually, these are my good scissors too, but it won't hurt these. Because I can get the glue off of these a little easier. So, okay. And then we're going to take this other black one and we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're just going to kind of crisscross these two. Putting enough glue across that. And I'm just going to gently lay it across the top of the other one. Press it down so that it sticks. And this is what we have so far. And I think we're going to take this purple one, and this just has, it feels almost like a plastic in the middle there. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I'm going to cut a lot of that off. And we're going to take this purple feather and we're just going to glue that in between these two black ones, kind of coming up the center there. And then I think I'm going to take, I should have just started gluing it together to begin with. I think I'm doing better with just gluing the pieces on. I'm going to take this one and go off to the side of that other black feather here on this side. And have it just kind of coming off to the side. And then we're going to take our peacock feather, or maybe, you know what, I think I'm going to take one more of these purple ones. Cut off the tip there. And this is just a straight purple one. This is not one of the ones I flared up. I just left this one as is. We're going to kind of take it and tuck it in there and have that kind of coming off to the side as well. And then we'll take our peacock feather. Be careful with the peacock feathers though when you are using glue, because you can easily get them sidetracked. And what I mean by sidetracked is you can get them all separated and go in wonky directions, and then they won't look right. And this one, if you'll notice, this peacock feather, I curled the tips of it. This one, I did not curl the tips of it. I just left it straight. So you can do either or. And what I will do is, if you want to curl a peacock feather, let me grab one real quick and show you how to do that. Because it is a fun thing to know. I do have a video that you can watch that is solely on how to curl a peacock feather. So if you want to go to that video, feel free to check that out. But you can see these little pieces are the same as what's up on the feather itself. You just take your scissors. In fact, I'll take my bigger scissors so you can see what I'm doing. And just like you're curling ribbon, you gently pull on them, and you can see how nicely they curl. When you get to this side, you kind of want to flip it over and go in that direction so that your curls end up going the right direction on each side. So there you go. Very quickly I was able to curl that peacock feather. So that's how you do that. And again, I did that on my first one. I'm not doing that on this one. I'm just kind of trying to do it a little bit differently. But I wanted to show you guys how to curl them if you're interested in doing that. If you're going to make one of these, because that's kind of fun, and it really does make the feathers look really nice. I personally, I probably curl them more often than I don't curl them when I'm using them in my projects. So just so you know that. I prefer them that way in most cases, but on this, I think I wanted this one to be a little different, so that's why I'm not curling it. And then I'm going to be doing a boutonniere, but I don't know if I'll be doing a video on that or not. If you guys would like to see a video on the boutonnieres, just make a comment down below and let me know. And if I get a big response with regard to that, then absolutely I will be happy to do one for you guys. But if I don't get a big response on it and there's not really many people who would like that, then I'll leave it alone. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to use this black feather. I was just cutting something off of it. So this is what I have so far. Looks really, really pretty. And then I think I'm going to put this black feather right here, maybe kind of behind a little bit, right there, just to add a little bit of fluff to that. And then I do have this other little piece of black feather. Maybe I'll put that on the other side with a tiny dot of glue. This one's really frail, so I have to be really careful with it. So that one will just kind of sit over the top of that blue polka-dotted feather. Okay, and I don't know if I'm going to use this other purple feather or not. I think maybe I will. Maybe I'll put that sort of behind. I'm going to cut off a bit of it, and I think I'm going to try and tuck it. I think I'm going to try and tuck it right. Oh boy. It's not tucking so well. I think I'm going to try and tuck it right in there. And bring that black feather back around in front of it, if it will go. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. I'm trying very hard not to mess this up, and okay. I definitely want you guys to see what I'm doing here, but at the same time, I don't want to ruin the entire piece. Although, sometimes it's okay to have an epic fail on camera, because people know that you know, we don't always do everything perfect. Sometimes projects fail, and that's okay too. Okay. Ah, that feather just did not want to stay. Okay, I'm going to cut this off one more time. And I'm going to try again. Putting it right there. Oops. There we go. Okay, now I got it in there. It doesn't show up a lot, but that's okay. It does, it's back there. You can see that it's back there. There's our little purple one. And I'm noticing for some reason I've got some of these peacock feathers that have kind of gone behind the other stuff. Okay, so there we have that. And then the last thing that I'm going to be putting on this is a little piece to decorate the front of it. And this just makes the whole piece right here. This is the piece de resistance. I don't know if I said that correctly, but that's okay. You guys know what I mean. Most of you don't know this. I put a story on my Facebook page the other day, and my husband and I were out. We were starving, and I hadn't cooked dinner, and it was kind of late, so we decided that we were going to try and get some to-go food and bring it home and eat. So we went to a pizza place locally here, and had ordered some pizza, and I was going inside the pizza place to get our pizza, and left my husband in the truck. And when I came out, he was out talking to a very sweet, he was a homeless man, very sweet man, and my husband was having this conversation with him. And we had seen him when we were driving up to the pizza place. We had seen him walking down the sidewalk. He was pushing a wheelchair. And I guess evidently my husband had seen this man talking to a woman in a car. And she had stopped, I guess, and started to pull away from the man as he was talking to her. And my husband said he could see that the man was a little disappointed and, you know, seemed a little sad. And then the lady backed up in her car and backed up to the man and literally threw at him, they landed on the ground, a package of snack cookies. And for me, I know most of you don't know me personally, but when my husband told me that this lady did this, I was, number one, I was flabbergasted. I was appalled. And I thought, how mean was that she would just throw them at him and drive away. And so anyway, he got his cookies and he walked over by my husband's truck, which was parked next to a curb. And he sat down, and my husband's way of describing it to me was he sat down and started eating the cookies as if they were a T-bone steak. He was so excited to have them and just kind of taking little niblets off of the edges of the cookies and trying to eat them slowly, and, you know, just very, very happy to have the cookies. And for that, I thank the woman for at least giving him the cookies. But it was the manner in which she did it that I thought was very cruel. Anyway, but I can understand, you know, some people are fearful of, you know, some of the homeless people. But you could tell by looking and talking with him, he was a harmless little old man that probably wouldn't hurt a fly, you know. And so anyway, my husband, when he saw the man sit down, he rolled down his window in his truck and he prayed for the man. and began talking to him and, you know, asking him about his story, you know, what he had been through and all of that. And reached into his pocket and he gave him what money he had in his pocket. Now, we are short on funds right now, just like everybody else, I'm sure. And so we have to be very careful with our money. But in a case like that, where you've got somebody that's obviously starving, this man was extremely thin, obviously hungry. And so my husband did what he needed to do and gave the man some money. And then about that time, I came out of the restaurant with the food, and we talked some more and all of that. And as we left, we started driving away. My husband started to cry. And of course, no woman wants to see her husband cry because it makes us cry, right? So he and I were both crying, driving away from this poor man. And it touched my husband. So he said he couldn't understand why this man had touched him so deeply, but the entire evening, he couldn't stop thinking about him, couldn't stop talking about it, and almost felt bad that he had driven away and left that man standing there, you know. But I mean, truly, there was nothing more we could do, you know, for him. You can only do so much, you know, and I think that my husband did what he needed to do and did the right thing. But anyway, to make a long story short, you know, it upsets me that people are when people are inhumane to these people that don't have a home, don't have a meal or a place to eat a meal. You know, they're sitting on curbs having their dinner of, you know, cookies or whatever they might be able to find in a trash can. Come on, guys, you know what? With everything that's going on in the world right now, let's be a little kinder to these people. Let's try and remember humanity. You know, I feel very strongly about this, and I feel like, you know, somebody told me, a friend of mine, Carol, said, you know, we're all just one paycheck away from being homeless ourselves. So let's remember that, and remember that, you know, it could happen to any one of us at any time. It doesn't just happen to drug addicts and, you know, people who have done wrong in their lives. It happens to truly good people. And so let's remember that, and let's take care of our own and make sure that we're doing our best to, you know, help others. So anyway, that's my story for today. I feel very strongly about it, and I hope that, you know, we're all kind of trying to do a little bit more these days to help out others, because we really should be. I know I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to try to do better. I mean, because we can all do better. We can all do more. And that doesn't mean you have to do something that you are fearful of in order to make that happen. But find other ways to help other people that, you know, you think maybe could use your help and your love and your attention. So that's really it for me today, you guys. I won't bug you anymore about that stuff, but it's important to me. Having worked with nonprofits and worked with homeless people in the past, I feel pretty strongly about that. So it was something that really touched my husband and I. Okay, so here's this one. It is done, and it is beautiful. And I've added the bling there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to the back side. And I'm going to glue this other purple circle onto it. Oops. I'm going to take and put some hot glue on the wood piece. A good amount. I want to make sure it stays on the back. And this is just to cover up the wood, you know, give the wood some color. And then I'm going to take one of these little brooch clips, and I'm actually going to take the foam piece off of it. And I want to see, let's see, which way do I want this to go? I want this to go this way. And I'm going to take a little bit of E6000, and I'm going to put it in the center of the clip. And I'm going to take some hot glue, and I'm going to put that in a couple of spots. And we're going to press this on the center, making sure that we put it the right way so that when someone goes to wear this, their pin is going in the right direction. I mean, not that there's really a right or a wrong direction, but I guess for me, I do it the way I would use it, which may not be right for a left-hander. So, and I am a righty, so, but that's okay. I mean, even, you know, another person can do it. It's not like they can't hook it, but I guess it works for me. Anyway, okay. And then I'm just kind of taking and cutting off this excess little bit of glue here that kind of squeezed out. And these feathers, I'll tell you, if you've got any kind of glue on your hand, these feathers stick to you like crazy. They stick to everything. Okay. So there we have it. It's all finished. There's the other one. And they're both a little bit different from each other, but kind of the same. Just a little different bling on this one. So this is the one I just did. And this is the one that I did earlier. Both very, very pretty. And these will both be going in my Etsy store. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching my video today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up down in the box below. And if you are interested, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out more great videos. And I'm a very eclectic crafter, so I'll be putting out different types of videos. So be on the lookout for maybe some of the things that you like to do. And if there's something that you're interested in seeing me do, make a note of that down below in the comments, and I'll certainly take a look at it and see if that's something I think I can do, and I will try and do a video on it. Thanks so much. I hope you all have a very blessed day, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. And again, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe down below. Share and like my video. That's how I get more subscribers. And we're getting closer to that 4,000 subscriber mark. So when I do, I will be doing another giveaway. So get your friends and family to subscribe so that we can do that giveaway soon. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care.